I'd like to call this meeting to order at 7 o'clock. We can start off with the Pledge of Allegiance, and there is a flag outside there. You can see it waving. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Like to do a roll call. Holly Naylor. Here. Nancy Rosso. Here. Kim Armstrong. Here. Dawn Smith. Rebecca Beasley. Here. I'm here. Janine Gogleski, I'm present as well. Basically, the one item on the agenda here is discussion decision about the book appeal. And if the committee would like to discuss as to what the patron has asked for.
I have a question. Why are we doing this now instead of when it was on the agenda for the next board meeting?
They're gonna call the special meeting to discuss this.
Right, why? Like, what was the reasoning given?
I can't speak for Bill, but I imagine the reason was to probably try to get stuff going since it's been delayed for so long and not to take up a bunch of time at the general meeting. I'm not him though, but that would be
Right,
my thought.
well, I mean, that's the point too, that he called a special meeting that he's not at. Which is inconvenient for everybody, right? People, members of the public, staff, we have to rearrange our schedule. And just so I want to make sure that we're clear on the timeline and what has happened so far before we have this discussion. And fact checking here, I checked emails and stuff, but in April, I believe the first challenge came in. So in April and May, beginning of June, staff was working on the challenge. In June, Sarah was just about ready to give the response when we, board, changed the policy and reset the clock, right? So the clock started in June. Didn't have a meeting in July, planned vacation. August, and this is a little fuzzy, but the appeals letter is dated August 9th. Our board meeting was on August 21st, where we knew that there had been an appeals letter, but we hadn't seen it yet, so we couldn't discuss it at the board meeting. And then Janine, you sent out an email on the 23rd, 2 days after the board meeting, so we weren't able to discuss it in August. September, we were planning to discuss it. We had a meeting canceled with a few hours notice. In October, our October meeting was the first time that we as a board were able to discuss the appeal. That was 21 days ago. So I don't understand why we couldn't have waited 2 more weeks, allowed the public to plan around this as they usually do, and not call a special meeting, which quite frankly makes it look like we're up to something. I mean, special meetings should be called in extraordinary circumstances. And I wish Bill was here because I would like to ask him, but he called a meeting that is inconvenient for everyone but him. He's not here to answer questions. And I think it's really inappropriate that both part of that has been done. So I just wanted to say that, and we're here, so we can go on.
That being said, this meeting was called to have a discussion decision about the book appeal. The committee did meet and was aware of as to what the patron is asking for. John, would you like to discuss that?
Janine, Holly, and myself met with the person who did the appeal to clarify, because that was the discussion at the last meeting, was there's confusion about what actually the appeal entailed, what the patron desired. So we did meet with the patron and discuss the appeal. And what we came up with after talking back and forth was that basically any of the books that weren't weeded or they were ordered and they didn't come in and now they're not ordered. Basically, any of the books that aren't at the library, they still want to be appealed. Did I say that correctly? It's kind of
Yeah.
confusing. So the only ones that they are not appealing the decision of the director are the ones that we did or we were gonna order them and now we're not, or they're not in the library anymore, they were canceled. So basically, it's the books that are the property of Cromaine.
So by my count, and I may be wrong,
Mhm.
but I was trying to read through the memos. I think that comes to about 38. So it's like 38 from 220, because 220 was the original list, correct?
222.
222.
Yeah.
Okay. So all I could come up with was in that category,
Mhm.
we're about 38. So that means the balance,
Mhm.
yeah.
So then, after we learned that from the patron, we had a discussion after to try to figure out how to operationalize doing that if we vote to go through or with the appeal. Because our first step is deciding whether to go by what the director says or go ahead and go through the appeal process for the board. So we did have a discussion on how to operationalize that and how we could do that as easily as possible without overburdening everybody. Holly, do you want to talk about that part? Could you? Or Janine?
Well, I would say, well, the first thing that we would need to do, is there more discussion on this topic? There's been lots of discussion on it. The clarification has been made from the patron through the committee as to what the patron is asking for the appeal process.
Well, and
To-
she also, so that was part of it, right? We identified which books were included in the appeal.
Right.
And what she would like to see with the books that are included in the appeal
Right.
is that they would all be moved to the adult section and have two labels put on them. One, the sexually explicit label, and then, gender issues. So those were the two things we were unclear on, which books were included.
Correct.
And what the goal was, like what, not the ask was.
Say that again, adult section and 2 labels?
Yes, the sexually
labels?
explicit, the one that we have, and then, gender issues.
Wait, we've never talked about gender issues, have we? I mean, as a
It's
label?
the label that's in our,
I think it said social.
social issues. Social issues.
Yeah.
But the ask was that would be more specific, actually. It was what the patient
Yeah,
was
instead
saying.
of the
So that it
social
could be
issues
more
label.
clear to people what social, I guess it was unclear what social issues meant.
So she's asking for gender
No,
issues.
no, the thing in as the way that we have it in the policy is, it says social issues, and there are social issues on some of the books as well.
That's not in the policy.
And,
It's not.
well, not in the policy, it's just the label, a label that we have.
So I did explain actually that those were two separate things. Actually, at our meeting with the patron, that those were like two separate things. There's what we're doing with the appeal has to do with the sexually explicit material for minors. That's what the appeal process, what we're doing with that process, and then it was two different things. I did say that, I didn't.
Yeah, we're appealing it against the existing policy.
Right, exactly.
Which doesn't include social genre or any genre labels.
Correct. So before this board, for our policy, it would be one of two decisions here tonight. Either we are going with the decision that the director has made on this, or as a board, we vote to read the books and go through the books and read them and see if they follow within our policy to be labeled, be moved, to do that. So that would be the two choices we have.
So just as a understanding, if we get to the next step of reading all the books, how would it work? How did the committee
We
come
talked
up
about
with?
that.
Well, we have to make the.
5 different opinions. but-
No, we talked together.
We talked
because that was
together
the
as-
goal also,
Right,
was to talk about that. So Holly, Janine and myself, after the meeting, talked about how we would go about doing that.
So we have a proposal.
We have a proposal on how to do
basically,
it.
Which bucket to put each book in? Is that the idea?
No, how
Yeah.
to go about reading them,
How
because
does,
I,
it depends how the book, go ahead.
so we came up with a process of how we would be able to review them. It would be each board member's purview on what they would vote would happen to the book. Does that make sense? Because there's a
Mhm.
form. So that's not our decision. It's just we were trying to figure out how to make it happen. There's so many books and how to make it so we're not reading too many books a month and make it easier for us to do it. And also not make it take forever.
Oh, I guess I was leaping to the next.
You're
step,
leaping to the,
Right,
Where you have 5 board members
Right.
saying it goes in this bucket.
No.
And then what do you do?
so what would happen for our policy though, is after that's done, and we were trying to operationalize that. After we make sure that all 7 board members had a chance to read the book and do the little form, then we would go ahead and bring it to the next board meeting. So that people could vote on what they think, whether it should have a label, not have a label, whether it should be moved, not moved. That would be each board member's decision. And it would be by vote.
For the sheet.
For the
Okay,
sheet.
so what would happen is the board, if, okay, so we're kind of doing it next, we're kind of jumping ahead, so, since we're here at this point, so each board member would read the books, and then they would fill out the sheet. The sheets then would be turned into the president's mailbox, sent
And the
to the
director.
president, and the,
And the director.
and the director, for both, and then there would be a spreadsheet that the president would get together for the next meeting for the board after everyone has read this. And, the spreadsheet will show, okay, how this book, okay, so here's 3 people said that this book should have this label. 2 people said that they didn't see anything, or on these pages, here's what was found. So per the sheet that we're having for the book
But there would
change.
be, there would be discussion.
There would be a
There
discussion for each book that's read. At each meeting, so this would be
It's gonna be an ongoing thing.
and if the choice is to read the books, then we also have to amend that this needs to be ongoing until the books are complete. So kind of like one step at a time.
So I know we've talked about this many times, but really the alternative is that we accept the fact that we have hired a director who has done due diligence per the board's issuance of a new policy and involved all her staff and countless hours in reviewing, and we would be duplicating that process essentially. So we
Mhm.
could decide today to go with what Sarah's done
Correct.
at our behest. I mean,
Correct.
she's done it on our behalf. And she has I would say, the credentials and then some. Okay, I'd like to make the motion that we accept what Sarah has done and her staff.
Anyone want a second?
Is there a second?
No, I'm just also a little confused because at the last board meeting, there was a lot of discussion about how it shouldn't be one person making the decision. And we believe that we should be reading through every book and voting on it. So we could have done this at the last board meeting. But it was, I mean, Janine and you in particular said, I think we should be reading every book. One person shouldn't be making these decisions. So I'm confused.
Don, did you just second?
No, I did
Oh,
not.
I thought you,
There's not
No, I
a second
didn't.
to the.
No, I actually,
I
I
thought,
thought
I
you, I
actually-
heard you second.
no, I did not.
Okay.
that's
No,
what
no.
she was hearing.
Nope, I was
Okay.
confused by that. No.
All right, well, that makes it more clear and I'm not confused.
I do value Sarah's opinion, but having found that it was also the staff that ordered the books sometimes that were making the decisions on whether the books were in the appropriate category as far as age group,
Well, and if there's no second, there's no discussion.
right?
I
So,
mean, I'll second it.
okay.
Okay.
Okay. So how do you second? Mhm.
Now we can just. And then you can continue.
That's it.
Well, we should vote on that first.
Well, we need to vote, okay, so the motion on the floor is to go with as to what the director has done. Second by Holly. Roll call vote, Holly,
Yes.
Nancy,
Yes.
Kim,
No.
Dawn,
No.
Becky,
No.
and I am a no. That motion does not pass.
So I'll make a motion that we go ahead and review the books using the process that we just came up with.
A second. Was that Kim or Janine's?
Kim.
So the discussion. Like I said, my view was there might be some unconscious bias when people are ordering the books for juvenile children. The person that's ordering the book is then deciding whether it's an appropriate age group. And I don't think they can have an unbiased opinion. That's my thought on it, and that's why I think that we should also look at it ourselves. I'm hoping we agree with everything they did, but I'm worried about it. So I don't want to, I can't, in good conscience, not look at them myself.
And as for the discussion on that as well, I myself has read about 25 of these books. Out of those books, and just kind of picking through and just reading from a different genre on that as well, I would agree that maybe one or two might have got missed in this, and that's no one's fault. It's no one's work ethic. It's anything like that. My opinion is, I think as a board, we need to do our due diligence and read the books. Any other discussion?
Can I ask a clarifying question? Process-wise, not your decision because it's been made. You'll be using that form that was voted on at the last meeting? Okay,
Yes.
so we're not talking genre labels, we're talking location and the sexually explicit.
Correct,
Okay,
correct.
good, okay, that's good.
Yeah.
That'll be easier for you.
So I'm not clear. So
And there's
is
only,
that part of the motion that it would,
no, but I feel like something you said made me think you didn't understand that, because
Those
there's
for
8
clarification.
books that I removed, not 38. There's 8 books that I removed, so there's 30 books that had all these other things, but you still have to assess them.
Mhm.
For sexually explicit, which I don't think they have, but you have to look.
okay, so the options are move it to the adult section, correct?
For another,
Yeah, the options within the policy, I believe, are just, it's not that specific. It's moving it and putting a sexually explicit label on or a graphic violence label on.
Graphic violence, not social issues?
nope,
No,
it's not in
that's not
policy.
part of it.
It's very clear on the form, and I just wanted you to understand that. It's not, like, the staff have a lot of purview that you do not.
So we're talking 3 buckets, or some of the books that get moved could also have labels? I guess that's where it overlaps, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
So what would the vote entail? There would be,
I mean, you'll have to figure that
They
out.
don't have, we've read the books and we've come, everybody's had a chance, like, here's a book. 7 people have had a chance to read it. We've all filled out our forms and we know that we've read it. It'll be at the board meeting. We will discuss it and we'll vote on whether will have a label or be moved
As a board.
as a board. So it'll be majority, not 1%.
I'm still confused.
Well,
Like, it's like if it's 4-3, that it doesn't get moved or labeled, it will not get moved or labeled. It'll be majority vote.
And if it's a split, different, I mean, it sounds like there's options.
It shouldn't be.
There'll be multiple
I mean, the
options.
final vote would have to, I think, be precise.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
it would be.
it could get messy.
And then
Yeah,
that
it's
way
gonna be long.
it will be public as well.
It's hard to do, I think.
Yeah.
By one person's easier, but I mean, it'll just be hard. Right?
Yeah, I guess I'm still not seeing how the logistics will play out, but.
Can you explain how, as far as the,
Well, we-
the process, as far as,
Well, we currently
Well,
have a
let's-
motion,
can we
yeah, we
finish
currently
the
have a
motion?
motion on the floor. Is there other discussion on the motion? So the current motion on the floor is to have the board read the books and fill out the forms and go with the process but we also can go with the current motion on the floor is to read the books. Pardon me?
I mean, we
It's
voted,
the opposite of the other vote, so
Right,
you
yes.
don't need to put it. But you
yeah,
can,
we only had two options when we said no to one.
because if you don't do one, you do the other.
Right.
So it'll be
So-
4-2.
So I think,
I
I
assume-
think we should, as just, I
Yeah,
think we
it's
should
probably
still
going
do it as a formal, because it
Should
is
be
a
a
public meeting. So roll call,
Okay, just for the minutes, because I think I'm taking the minutes this time, right?
Yeah, I'm helping.
The board will read all the books. Is that the end of it?
they will read the books and then determine at each meeting, like.
I would just say read the books and
board
follow
will-
the
Yeah, we've
process.
chosen
And follow the appeal process.
Yes, because it's all written out.
Right.
That makes it easier as a motion.
And just as an aside, the committee will hand out forms and line us up with the books.
We're gonna
and-
discuss, we're gonna discuss all that, what the committee had just said.
Okay,
right
okay,
after-
okay, not in the motion. Got it.
Right. So roll call vote, Holly,
No,
Nancy?
No,
Kim?
Yes.
Dawn?
Yes.
Becky?
Yes.
And I'm a yes, the motion passes. As for what the committee decided, acted as to do this and to do the books, we thought it fair and good for the public as well to do a mix of books overall. The committee has thought that 10 or 20 books a month would be doable, readable to do.
well, that was the starting.
To start,
Right,
to
they
see.
did say that, yes, if
If
that's
it's-
a burden, we might lower it, especially if it's older. You know, if they're adult books and it's gonna be, or, juvenile books might be longer if it's not a graphic novel. So we might adjust that, but we thought to start, we would do 20 to try to at least get it going.
So what the committee agreed upon is 1 adult book, 3 teen books, 6 youth books, and 10 picture books. So with kind of going
can you
through,
read that again?
yeah,
I did not.
1 adult book, 3 teen books, 6 youth books, and 10 picture books. After kind of going through this as well, we did also say that that could be adjusted or what have you. So with looking at that as well too, there's only 10 picture books in the whole thing, you know, so the very first month, we're gonna go through all the picture books, okay? So then we'll have to adjust, you know, like the following month, okay, so graphic novels, what have you. But within the teen and the youth, there would be graphic novels mixed in with that. The suggestion too from the committee was to put these, the director was asking for direction as to how this would go. So what we could do, suggestion could be is put these books, and we kind of have a list of them or something with a spreadsheet in that, because per each month. Put them at the circulation desk, pull them and have them ready for the board members to come in and look at them, check them out or do what they need to do.
I don't think we can pull books per our policy, because you have to leave them in circulation for the public. I mean, you know, we're not special. So, I mean, I don't know, like.
But the
That's
books
their
are in question though, right now, right? So because they're in kind of a.
But they shouldn't be taken out of circulation.
My caveat to that would be that I'm sure other libraries also have these books too. If we can get them on loan from another library and have them for us,
I think that'd be the best way to do it.
then we wouldn't have to worry about keeping them from the patrons. 'Cause I'm
That's
sure
why
they're-
I sent you the how to place a hold. That's the easiest way to do it. You can easily get.
Cause a lot of them, I think we'll just be able to come in and read it while we're sitting there if we have
Yeah.
time. And
Especially
then we
for-
can get them done and put them back where they need to go
Is
quicker.
that what you meant, Janine?
No, not placing them on hold for a board. So what I'm asking, well, what we had thought would be easier, because you're only talking about 20 books here within a 30-day period. So, if you could pull them and they would be on a cart at circulation so that the board members could go ahead and look at them if we're sitting here, or if you wanted to take one and take it home as well, or what have you. And then fill out the form, and then when you're finished reading the book.
So we can
form-
pull them, but we have to put them on hold for someone to pass.
Yeah, well, I like the idea of the putting on, because then we're not worried about people
Right.
not being able to get them. So I understand where you're
Right.
coming from, Nancy. So
So,
if we
Right.
could, because there, there's lots of different libraries, so we can make sure people can still get them here if they want to.
Mhm.
So we could put them on hold for ourselves. Do I
For the
put it?
board, put them on for
Put
the
'em-
board.
but the board
One of
doesn't
our
have a
names.
card, so you each have a card, like we
Okay.
talked about this on the phone.
Right,
So I
right.
feel like I can't just grab them
Gotcha.
all and put them, because my staff, if they're off the shelf, they have to be on hold for someone or checked out. Because staff every day go pull books.
So if we're doing,
So
how
we
many
could
books?
pull them, I can pick,
Yeah,
if there's 20 and there's 7 of you, I can put 3 on hold for
Yeah.
3 of you, if you want me to do it for you, or you can do it yourselves. Because you can.
I think we could do it ourselves.
I think we could
because
do
as soon
it.
as
We could
something
do it,
becomes available.
yeah. As long as we have the list.
I'll tell you what, I'll put them all on hold under my name every month and then we're good.
And what they can
And
do
then
is.
we'll all know which ones are available for us.
Okay.
I'll put them all, let's just make it easier for the other board members. I will put them all on hold under my ID. I'll pull them all so that we know that we're all reading these different books.
Okay.
And is it okay to keep them on a cart though? They're all on hold under my
By
name.
that, like not to leave the building?
No, they're on hold for me and I don't
And
care.
they can't leave if they're not checked out.
Well, if they're on hold for me and if someone wants to check them out that are on the cart, that's perfectly fine.
So like.
Check them
they
under,
say-
check them under mine.
Sure.
If
Or
I'm
no,
gonna have
they
a,
check out to
check
whoever
them
takes them out, like we can do that. That's
okay.
how I did it.
It'd be under hold under your name.
Right.
Then I can check it out under mine
Yeah.
and put it back
right,
and bring it back.
Sure, that could work.
Mhm.
okay,
We're just trying to do it quickly. so-
right,
Yeah.
to make it, yeah.
But yeah, we just can't put them on a cart and leave them there.
Mhm.
But
I think it'd be all on the hold shelf, under my name, correct?
yes,
Right,
until they come back. If they're not on hold. I mean, it's complicated because there's interest in these books because of this.
Mhm.
So someone in this room might put a book on hold. And then
right.
they get it next, not you.
Well, we're just asking,
We'll just have to wait.
Right.
Well, or you could just
Right.
all put it on hold and then it just, y'all get in line, like it doesn't,
Yeah, I'm
like
just
we're
gonna.
making it
put a
more
request
complicated
for
than
my
it used to
name.
be.
Yeah. What is the easiest way
For you each to put a book on.
So if Janine, because Janine has a list and we're gonna
Yeah.
try to do a random sample.
It's
So-
really, because they just show up. I mean, when you ask for books, they just like,
So,
Yeah, notice and.
Right.
so if you wanna send that out to everybody and then we can all do ourselves on hold, would that be the best way?
it'd be easiest for staff. Because there's a lot of time spent looking for books that we
Right.
don't know where they are. And there is interest in these books.
Mhm.
But when would we get the list from the committee?
well, I have it typed up, ready to go,
If they
okay,
ask
so
Janine to do a
just like,
random sample.
they asked me to do a random sample at the last meeting, so I have it ready to go, except for my printer wasn't working so well, so I can email it to you like tonight, forward it.
Do we need to meet next week, or do you think that this counted for this month?
I don't think.
I was gonna ask at the end of the
Oh.
meeting.
Yeah.
Okay,
For outreach? Oh,
For our regular.
yeah, which you can ask at the end of the meeting, but I
Yeah,
just,
yeah,
We
unless we have policies and stuff.
we don't.
right, there's no policy for, okay. So what you'd like me to do is get this list to Sarah, and then we're gonna all just check out books.
Well, not to me, because I'm not
Or
running.
no, we're
Each
gonna,
other.
get the list to each other.
And that's
we're
why
gonna
I
put-
said you had a placeholder.
And you did send that, we have that, so send it to the whole, all the trustees, and then we will go in and put the hold on all those books.
It's very efficient. Once you've done it, you'll realize
Okay.
how quick it is. It's like magic.
And then that way, there'll be books coming from other libraries, so we'll have more copies too.
Okay,
For the longer ones, that might be helpful.
right, well, we're just gonna do one adult book right
Right.
now.
Yeah.
Right,
because we don't
but
know.
The 10 picture books though should go pretty quick, and it's just like, you might be able to even just sit in here and read them.
Okay,
I think that might go pretty quick. The one thing that I would ask though is if we could have a lot of those forms available.
Sure, that I can put in your boxes.
Perfect,
Cool.
perfect.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other discussion on that?
So just to summarize.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
We will all be, no, Janine will be emailing the list of the first round of books.
We'll have it tonight.
All board members will individually place each of those books on hold. read them as they come in. Use the sheet for each book, fill it in, sign it, send a copy to Bill and Sarah, who is keeping track of when all 7 papers have been turned in for each book.
Bill will,
Okay,
Mhm.
so,
on a spreadsheet.
and then
There'll be
he
a
will
spreadsheet.
notify Sarah of which books will be reviewed the next month, so it can go
Right,
into the agenda
Right.
for the public to see.
And should the forms go in the packet, and that's why I get them, so I have them.
I
Or the
would just, I would like 2 people to get it, just to keep
make sure
track and make sure that we're
right.
moving.
We'll figure it out first.
Yeah, we'll know how it goes.
Yeah,
So
but
when
we'll-
is the first month? In 2 weeks or?
No,
December.
320 books in, no,
I mean, they're kids'
just
books.
checking.
Well, we can
Like, that's a
start-
great
we
we can
start
start, you can start as soon as,
mean-
you're right,
It's only kids' books, well, we were in a rush.
right.
I would just do it.
Mhm.
Well, let's see,
But
well,
see if
by
they're
Friday,
available. I mean, I don't
because
think
you
so.
put the board packet together Friday,
You're right.
so.
I'm just being.
Yeah. And we do need to notify the public or the ones that are
Packets
that are going to be
or
reviewed.
you should go pretty good. And these 10 picture books, so if you see how many that we can get through by the November meeting.
I mean, I've already looked. It's a lot of books. It was
Yeah.
2 full cards double sided, so. It's a
It'll
lot.
take a while.
It'll take a while. So the next thing that we need to do as well, is part of our policy, it did say that we had 60 days.
Can I ask one
Okay.
other question?
Oh.
Just one other question. Here's something I learned. Can we agree, and I say we, can you agree that you will evaluate these books based on the policy you have today?
We've
Yeah.
already talked about that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that'll just be
Yes.
easier if you change it, cause
Right.
like. You don't wanna reset this and do
Right.
this again. Cause I could see that happening, that would be but. I think that's good.
Mhm. So with that being said, the current policy that we have says for an appeal process to happen, it's the board would have 60 days. We now need to have unlimited time since we need to read 200 plus books. So we need a motion on the floor to allow us the time and diligence to do this. Unlimited seems to be, I mean, can we maybe get it done quicker as we're seeing and we're going through these, but,
Well, we need to,
And-
we can make a motion that it's gonna be more than 60 days.
more than 60.
And maybe after a couple of months, we'll know how long it's actually gonna take us as we do the process and see how many we can read each month.
Was that a motion?
I feel like it should be, because we're longer than 60 days. So do you wanna word it the way you were saying it, Jenny?
So. I'm trying to think here.
Undetermined time.
Yeah, the board, okay, so the motion on the floor would be the board needs an undetermined.
To extend
To
the time to review
Right.
to an undetermined, what's the word, an undetermined, duration.
Period, yeah,
Period.
undetermined, yeah, duration to,
In order to.
in order to,
Complete. and
complete
perform
the- right,
Is that,
right,
does that sound okay?
perfect.
I didn't get it. Did you get it?
Board needs to extend the time to an undetermined duration to review all the books.
Good job.
Is there a second?
Who made that motion?
I'll second.
Jenny?
All those in favor? Do we need a roll call? Roll call. In favor of the motion?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Motion passes. Okay. That's the discussion. The other item on the agenda is the call to public. When addressing the board, you address the board as a whole. Keep in mind that libel and slander are not protected speech under the US First Amendment, and because they are forms of defamation and legal action can be taken. I have Brent Pont from Brighton. You have 3 minutes.
Thank you.
You can come.
I know we've got kind of a
That's okay. You
unique
can
setup.
come.
I don't know.
Just step up a little.
Yeah,
for
this
the
is
microphone.
Oh, is that, okay, sure.
Talk to the owl.
It has.
Yes, I talked to you.
Hello. Hi, yeah, my name is Brent Conk. I live in Brighton, patron of the library. My comments tonight actually pertain to the board's consideration of retaining the ADF, the Alliance Defending Freedom, I think it's called, as legal representation for the library. This would probably be a good time to refresh the board's memory regarding the Cromaine Board of Trustees operating procedure, specifically the scope statement defined in the general provisions of the board membership, which is posted and available on the library website. And I quote, "It is the purpose of the Board of Trustees to operate." Sure, yeah.
Thank you.
It's the purpose of the Board of Trustees to operate the library for the welfare of the entire district rather than for any part of the district or for any group in the district, and with extra emphasis on any group in the district, I might add. In short, the library is not meant to be a platform or a pulpit for a specific ideology or political leaning. A board member that considers the use of a legal organization which adheres to and promotes specific ideologies, which are clearly posted on the ADF website, implies that they're choosing to ignore the responsibility as cited in the passage, the scope that I just quoted. Undoubtedly, a pro bono offer comes across as appealing, but keep in mind another responsibility that's also in this operating procedure document of the libraries, and that's the board's responsibility of ensuring adequate resources for the library to fulfill its mission. Pursuing any legal action that previous legal representation has evaluated as having a negative outcome can potentially place the library in harm's way from a litigious and a financial perspective. If the action were to fail, the library would then be subjected to fees incurred by the court as well as the plaintiff, as well as other remedies that may pass. ADF moves on to their next case, and Cromaine is left with picking up the pieces. Depleting the library's financial resources would seem to go against the board's fiduciary responsibility to the library and its patrons. And in closing, I just wanted to say the use of any legal entity by the library that does not commit to being nonpartisan or free of any specific ideology should be deemed unacceptable as it conflicts with the fundamental basis upon which a public library operates. Thank you for your time.
Elaine C. of Howell.
Hi. I know that you can't answer questions, but I've been coming to these meetings and trying to figure out what's happening here. I saw the big concerns for little people out there, and I looked through the books, and there's some about special needs, kids with autism. And I don't know why that would be a big concern. My son is severely disabled cognitively and physically, medically. And when I see books that are put in a segregated section that is called a big concern, it breaks my heart. Why are you doing this? And I don't expect you to answer. And then I look further and I see foster kids, adoption, of course, the autism, medical problems in people and children. My son matters, and every day I have to fight for him because he's not a productive member of society. And so people think that they act like he doesn't deserve the opportunities that you and I get, the insurance coverage, everything. And it's exhausting. So please, I'm begging you, don't ostracize him, just normalize him.
Amber from Hartland.
I want to begin by expressing concern about how the meeting was scheduled. It was announced at the last minute, held off the regular schedule, and placed in a smaller room with limited capacity. After the last meeting drew strong community engagement, is deeply troubling. The library board serves the public, and its meetings should be accessible to the public. Choosing a space that restricts community participation gives the appearance of avoiding input, which undermines trust and transparency. I also want to talk on the book challenges and say that I strongly oppose any effort to label, restrict, or segregate books based on their content or the perspectives they represent. Such actions amount to viewpoint discrimination and undermine the principles of intellectual freedom and the First Amendment. Our public library exists to provide access to a broad range of ideas so individuals, not governing boards, can decide what is right for themselves and their families. I urge the board to trust the professional expertise and ethical standards of our library director and staff, who are trained to curate collections that reflect the diversity and needs of the entire community. The role of the library is to support that mission, uphold transparency, and represent the public interest, not to impose personal beliefs or preferences on what others may read or access. If there are perspectives or topics that someone feels are underrepresented, the solution is simple. Request more books that reflect those viewpoints. That's how a public library grows, by adding voices, not silencing them. I also want to oppose the idea raised at the last meeting to create a parent review committee or require permission slips for certain books. That proposal would allow one group's values to dictate access for everyone. Every parent has the right to guide their own child's reading, but no parent and no board member has the right to decide what other families can access. Our library's duty is to provide open access to information and ideas for all, not to police which perspectives are acceptable. Censorship, however it's framed, undermines intellectual freedom and the democratic principles on which public libraries stand. Ideas do not corrupt people. They expand understanding. Shielding readers from difference does not protect them, it limits them. I urge the board to respect the professional expertise of librarians, to uphold transparency in all decisions, and most importantly, to protect the right of every community member to read freely and think for themselves. I also want to add, how is it that the library staff, who is trained and hired and paid by community tax dollars, is biased, but the library board that is looking into ADF lawyers isn't?
Barbara Brooks. What city are you from?
Hartland Township, Howell mailing.
Okay.
Place.
Thank you.
My name is Barbara Brooks, and I have been listening to these things, and while I understand that every parent or guardian has the right to choose what their underage children should be able to see, read, and take part in, I also, by the same token, feel that no one should be choosing what I or my family can read and take part in. That's my job. I have to tell you, I was just blown out of the water as you were talking this evening, and that's why it's scribbled. I didn't prepare as the two previous speakers did. I had no idea. I thought we were going to be listening to how you were going to handle children's books in young adults. And when I found out you're going to actually attempt to determine what happens to adult books, it just blew my mind. So I want to tell you, please, please don't go there. Again, I can understand people having concerns about younger children, teens and so forth. And again, I think you're treading on very dangerous ground when you do that. But I really resent anyone trying to tell or to label adult books that the minute I open it up, I'm going to look through it. If I don't think it's something I want to read, I'm going to put it right back on the shelf. Might be fine for somebody else, but I don't want somebody else determining what I'm going to read. Thank you.
So ends the call to public. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion made to adjourn meeting?
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Done. And the next.